Last week, our River West Church community entered into a season of grief and pain that has stirred up a wide range of emotions that are deep and complex and very much a part of our story in this moment. As a community, whenever we experience the most profound pain, we turn to prayer.
A senior pastor at a church in Lake Oswego, Oregon, has resigned after confessing to an extramarital affair. His name is Adam McMurray. He had led River West Church for 7 years as senior pastor, 19 years in leadership total. And when the confession came, his church did something that deserves attention. They didn't hide it. They didn't manage it. They handled it together, transparently, pastorally, and in front of the entire congregation. That unified response is what we're covering today. River West Church is a non-denominational congregation in Lake Oswego, an upscale suburb of Portland, Oregon. It's the kind of church that has been quietly building for years. Not flashy, not headline-grabbing, just a community trying to be faithful. Their senior pastor was Adam McMurray. He had been in leadership at River West for 19 years, the last 7 as senior pastor. 19 years. That's not just a job, that's a life poured into a community. Marriages, funerals, late-night conversations, hospital visits. The kind of pastoral history that weaves itself into the fabric of who a church is. On April 13th, Adam McMurray admitted to his elders that he had engaged in an extramarital affair. He was relieved of his position that same day. 2 days later, he tendered his formal resignation. And the following Sunday, his church did something that not enough churches do. They told the truth about it. The elders had already sent a letter to the congregation by email the day before, a letter that named what happened clearly, used the word sin, and did not soften the blow with institutional language or vague references to a season of transition. The letter read, in part, "This sin has brought devastating pain to his wife Kathy, his family, our church family, and has brought harm to the reputation of the gospel." That's not PR language. That's pastoral language. And then, at the 9 a.m. service, and again at the services that followed, Elder Don Topp walked to the front of the room with his wife Lori beside him, and he read every word of that letter out loud to the congregation.
Good morning. My name is Don Topp. I'm one of the elders here at River West. This is my wife Lori. The elders sent out a letter yesterday with some important information regarding Adam and Kathy and our church leadership. Now, it's very likely some of you have not read that yet, or maybe even didn't receive it. So I am going to read it. If you're a visitor or a newcomer, welcome. We're having a family meeting, and we're going to deal with some difficult news. Dear church family, we write to you with heavy hearts to share some grievous news. Effective Monday, April 13, Adam McMurray is no longer serving as the senior pastor of River West Church. This follows the elders learning on that same day that Adam had engaged in an extramarital affair with a woman. This sin has brought devastating pain to his wife Kathy, his family, our church family, and has brought harm to the reputation of the gospel. Adam has acknowledged the serious nature of his sin. He has submitted himself to the elders. He has tendered his resignation letter on April 15, and the elders have accepted this resignation. The elders are now taking the necessary steps to care for those who are most directly impacted and to shepherd our church through this painful moment with truth, wisdom, and love. Under the direction of the elders, our executive pastor, Christopher Kaufman, will help lead and shepherd the church alongside the pastors, ministry leaders, and staff as the elders prayerfully search for a new senior pastor. We know the news of Adam's resignation and fallout from his sin will elicit a wide range of emotions and raise many questions for the men and women of this church. Moving forward, we will not be sharing further details about the affair, and we urge you not to give yourselves to speculation or gossip. Instead, we ask you to fix your eyes on Christ, to pray, to love and support one another, and to walk carefully and faithfully in the midst of this sorrow. We, the elders, pastors, and leaders of the church, will be available for prayer and support for anyone who might need it. With very heavy hearts, the River West elders.
It's important to name the shock that we're all feeling, and there are going to be waves with this. It can be the waves of disbelief, anger, sadness. We want to recognize that we all feel different emotions, and we can all make space with each other for that.
If you're new to River West Church, my name is Mike. I'm the pastor of men and families. This is my wife, Kathleen. She's the pastor of children's ministry. We've been walking with the pain of this news since Monday night. We have shed our tears, we've prayed, we've been processing, we've been asking the hard questions. It's been a very difficult week. For some of you, you are hearing this news for the first time, and we can imagine what you're feeling. The shock, deep sadness, maybe disbelief, maybe numbness, maybe anger. There's no right or wrong way to respond to this news.
As for me, I'm just so sad. I think my heart absolutely breaks for Adam, for Kathy, for Lauren, Bridget, Nat, and Owen, for our church. And to say that this is devastating news, it just seems like almost an understatement. But here is what the Lord keeps reminding me of, is that the hope and light of the gospel remain the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And it's the Lord is the rock on which we stand. And I truly believe that we're going to move forward as a church family by keeping our eyes on Jesus and by leaning on one another. This loving community is a powerful thing. And I am so thankful that River West is Jesus's church. It has never been about one individual. And Marianne, she beautifully reminded so many of us this week that this is actually a grace from God, that this sin has been brought out of darkness and into the light. It is no longer hidden. And this is actually God's kindness to Adam and to our church.
Psalm 34:18 reminds us that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. And this week we have felt crushed. We are brokenhearted, as I'm sure many of you are. But the good news is that the Lord is near. The Lord is with us, and he is going to carry us through this. We want to spend a few minutes talking now about what our leadership team is going to be doing moving forward.
I know all of us are so concerned about Kathy and about her cancer journey, and the elders have a plan to cover her health care. Kathy's health care will not be interrupted, and River West will provide counseling resources for Kathy and her family.
In this season of deep grieving, we do ask that you don't reach out to Kathy and her family. This was their request that they wanted us to share with you. It's overwhelming right now. We want to respect their privacy. Please do not come to their home. We know you have big hearts and you love Kathy, but please don't drop off food, don't drop off flowers. Again, this is their wish. What they want is your prayers, and just know that they are being well taken care of.
We're also committed to praying for Adam. And we're connecting him with counselors and pastors outside of River West that are going to help him through his own painful journey of repentance and healing. We all love Adam. We know you love Adam, and the Lord is with him. And we want to pray in a spirit that does not reflect any sort of pride or judgment, but that realizes the sobering reality that we're all capable of great sin, and we all are in desperate need of God's grace.
And here's what we are not going to do. We are refusing to feed the gossip around this affair in ways that will cause further harm to Kathy and her family and to the reputation of the gospel. And we ask that you would join us in refusing to do the same. We are entering into a season of change and transition, but it's really important to remind you of what is not going to change. And I had the opportunity to share this with some leaders on Thursday night, and I think it's important that I share it with you now. The mission of River West Church is not changing. We are building a community of Christ for the world. All right, and that's not going to change. We might be limping right now, but we are going to continue moving forward in that mission. We're going to move forward. We're going to stay true to this mission. All right, we're committed to building a community of Christ for the world. And we hope and pray that you will continue on this mission with us.
Mike Self, pastor of men's and family ministries, told the congregation plainly, "There's no right or wrong way to respond to this news." And children's pastor Kathleen Self said something worth sitting with. This is actually a grace from God, that this sin has been brought out of darkness and into the light. It is no longer hidden. That's what courage sounds like from a pulpit. A few things in this story deserve to be named carefully. Kathy McMurray, Adam's wife, is currently undergoing treatment for stage 4 colorectal cancer. Her husband's affair came to light during one of the most vulnerable seasons of her life. The elders publicly committed to covering the full cost of her medical treatment. That announcement was met with applause. They also arranged counseling access for the couple's adult children and asked the congregation to respect the family's request for privacy. They thought about the victims first. That matters. Interim pastor Christopher Kaufman didn't just manage the crisis, he opened a door. He asked the congregation directly, "If you have ever been sinned against by anyone in this community that has made you feel unsafe, our elders and pastors want to know." That's not just accountability for what got caught. That's creating conditions for anything else in the dark to come into the light. Lance Ford of the Roy's report said it plainly. River West responded with a level of clarity and care that's too often missing. He's right. There will be a long road ahead for River West. Healing takes time. Trust is rebuilt slowly. But they started in the right place, with the truth. To every church leader watching, the cover-up is always worse than the sin. What congregations cannot absorb is silence dressed up as wisdom. River West chose light, and light is costly, but darkness costs more. If this video was useful to you, please like, share, and subscribe. This channel exists because these conversations matter, and because the church deserves better than cover-ups. I'll see you in the next one.
This past week, by the way, I'm Christopher. I'm the executive pastor that was mentioned. If you need a joke before we do anything, which is me, we thought about entitling this service "Welcome to My Nightmare." This is every pastor's nightmare, you know? And there's 3 showings today at the 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 5 p.m. So you chose the 11. All right, 11 o'clock, here we go. So.